Hello everyone. So today we will be doing Leetcode problem 53, that is maximum subarray, and we are given an integer array nums and we have to find out the subarray with the largest sum, and we have to return just its sum. So let's try to understand it. We are given an integer array nums and we have to find the maximum subarray. A subarray is a contiguous non-empty sequence of elements within an array. So this can be a subarray, this can be a subarray. Now this can also be a subarray. So we have to find the subarray which would result, whose sum would result in the maximum sum. So one way to do this is by taking help of Kadane's algo. So this algo keeps track of two variables. One is current sum of the subarray and another one would be max sum. So let it be at the starting of the array our current sum is 0 and our max sum, let it be, because as we don't have any other element and we are starting to traverse the array, the first element. So that is our maximum sum that we know of. So while we traverse the array nums, then we will update our current sum. That would be like we would be updating, like for example, now if I am here, so my current sum would be just -2. Then when I will be in the second position, when I will be here, my current sum would be -3. If I would be here, my current sum would be -6. So that would be our current sum. Like we will be keeping track of the sum. After that, we will check if our current sum, like whatever we have summed till now, is greater than our maximum sum. Like if it is greater than the maximum sum, like the first element, then we will just update our max sum to whatever current sum that we have found. So this we will do. But what will happen is, like the catch of the algo is, if our current sum will be smaller than 0, then we will update our current sum to 0. Now what this will do is, like if I am iterating through this array, what will happen is whenever we get a negative integer, we will just ignore that element and we will update our current sums of array to 0. So like for example, like in this, if I see what will happen, let's try to execute this and see. -1, we have got 2, 1, -5 and 4. So if I see now, what will happen is our current sum is 0, our max sum is -2. So when I will iterate through the array, my current sum would now be -2. Now I would see if is my current sum like greater than my max sum. It is not greater than my max sum. So I'll come out of this if. Now I'll enter this if. So my current sum is a negative integer. So what I would do is I would just update it to 0. That means I am ignoring this value. Like this cannot be contributing to my maximum sum. So I'm just ignoring that value. Now when I will come like loop, I will come to the second element. So now we will be having current sum as -1. Now is -1 greater than? Yes, it is greater than. So our max sum will get updated. But at the same time, we will check it is a negative, like it is a negative integer. So we will be just updating it back to 0, because we are also not considering this -1. Like our subarray will start from that point where like it would be a positive integer, so that we would be having the maximum sum. Now when I come here, it would be -3. Now is -3 greater than? So we will not update max sum because -3 is like small. So we would be like ignoring this also, like -3 also. That is not from where our subarray will start. So as it is a negative integer, we will update it to 0. Now let me just change color. So what will happen is, now our current sum would be 4. In here our current sum is 4. 4 is greater than -1, so we will be having 4 here. Now 4 is a positive integer, so we will not update this. We will not update it to 0. We would like enter our loop again. So I come to -1. Now wait, this is where my subarray started. So we have 4. Now I am coming to -1. So when I add -1 to this, now this will be 3. Is 3 greater than 4? No, it is not. So we will not update our maximum sum. But it is not a negative integer, so we will not even update our current sum to 0. Now this is also gone. Now our subarray continues. We have taken it from 4. Now -1, like our 3 has come. Now we will, when we go to this element, our sum would now be 2. Sorry, 5. 5. Our sum would now be 5. So we have considered this also. Now we are able to add on to these elements. Like if you see, I have just added onto these elements from 4. Before that we were just updating it to 0. So we are taking it from this subarray from a positive one. Now I have got 5. Now my maximum will be updated to 5. Now 5 is also a positive integer, so no need to make it 0. We will loop through this again. So I will add another one into this. So I got a 6. Now my maximum will be updated to 6. Now when I loop through, I got a -5. Now what will happen is, when I am getting a -5, now this will of course get updated because we are updating it. So when I do a -5, I'll get a 1 here. But our max sum won't get updated. Like we have already got the maximum sum, because now our 1 is smaller than 6. So our maximum won't get updated. We have already gotten 6. Now, is our 1 smaller than 0? It is not. So no need to do that, because now we don't know if in this element, like after this -5, if you would get a like bigger element, and our sum would, like instead of 4, like when this is becoming 4, when we have a 4 here, then our 1 would just be added and we would be having a 5. But imagine, instead of 4, we have something like, instead of 4, we have something like 8. Sorry, I have something like 8. So what will happen here? It would be 9 and this one would get updated. So my whole subarray would have been this. But as this is a 4, as this is a 4, my this thing would just remain to, my this thing would just remain to 1. Because if I add 4, it would just be 5 and 6 would still have been my maximum sum. So this is how our Kadane's algorithm works. So you can also do your own dry run, like take an array, do your own dry run to understand this problem statement better. So we will head over to Leetcode and we will try and code this out. We will assign two variables, that is current sum and max sum. So in our current sum, we will be keeping the sum of the elements in the subarray we are considering. And in our max sum, of course, initially we will be just keeping our first element. So our current sum would be 0, our max sum would be nums of 0. After that, we will just loop through our array in range of length of nums. Then we will add our elements to our current sum. So that will be nums of I. And then we will check if our current sum is greater than the max sum that we have seen so far. So if it is greater than our like if our current sum is greater, then we will update our max sum to our current sum. like whatever the sum we have got. Also, we will check if our current sum is a negative integer that is less than 0, then we will just update our current sum to 0. Now we will return our max sum. Now let's run this. In this we can see our time complexity will be O of n as the loop just runs once, and our space complexity would be the space that would be taken by those two variables, that is current sum and max sum. So yeah, that would be it for this video. We have understood like how to do like how to perform our cadence algorithm. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.